NordVPN. Keeps you safe.
Yes.
Keeps you locked down and allows you to do things you wouldn't normally be able to do, which is kind of neat.
Like what?
I don't know. Like maybe you're kind of tired of your version of a streaming service. And perhaps
I didn't know how to do a cartwheel, and I got Nord. I could do a cartwheel.
now that's not actually true. That's not even a part of what
You
Nord
said
does.
it could help you do things you couldn't do.
But if there was a show,
So you have to be specific.
no. If
Yeah.
there's a show,
Yeah.
and and the show is in another country, and in that show they explain how to do a cartwheel,
See?
you'd be able to do it.
Yeah.
You'd be able to do it.
Yeah. See, this is the thing,
so
right?
good.
So if you're bored of Canadian streaming services, U.S. streaming services, why not try the U.K.? Or, maybe your game's blacked out because of regional blackouts because for some reason that exists.
Yar.
NordVPN can help you with that. Using NordVPN is a click of a button, and that's it. You don't need to travel to get the shows that other countries get, which is pretty great. 5,000 server options, so no show is out of your reach. Grab your exclusive NordVPN deal by going to nordvpn.com/dangle. They get a huge discount off your NordVPN plan, plus 4 additional months on top. It's completely risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. And so what I want to say one more time is the exclusive NordVPN deal is nordvpn.com/dangle. You get a huge discount plus 4 additional months off the top. And remember, it's completely risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee.
SDP, the Steve Dangle Podcast, with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Let's go!
Well, hello there. Jesse Blake is back from the Leafs Media Avail. We're going to get to that in a little bit. I want to quickly mention that the Course and Clubhouse, we're still selling tickets for it.
Come to the Corson Clubhouse.
That's next Friday, right?
That's next Friday.
Yeah.
St.
We're not fucking around. Come to the Corson Clubhouse.
I believe that's what the Nate is themed after. It's
Yeah.
triple bogey. We're not fucking around.
They're going to write it in chalk right next to "We have frog legs." They're going to say, "We're not fucking around." Get your ass to the Corson Clubhouse.
That's
All
it.
right?
All right.
There you go.
All right. By the way, triple bogey will be in the house. Proud partners, and they've got their premium lagers and their iconic cocktails. I've never had their beer, but Jesse has. Jesse's never had their cocktails, but I have. So we're gonna do a little switcheroo, right?
Other way around.
Other way
Get it
around.
backwards.
I've had their cocktails. I thought maybe.
No.
Is it the beer?
I've had the seltzer thingies.
Where do I live? Oh yeah, I haven't had this.
Yeah, no, you
I
said it
love the
backwards.
seltzer,
That's
too.
okay.
Get your ass to the Corson
okay.
Clubhouse
And you can have both.
and have a triple bogey.
It's Wednesday. Coffee hasn't hit yet.
$25 plus tax, 200 tickets available. There you go. It's actually always a really, really fun time. And I would like to start the show with something non-hockey that'll just make you go, "Huh, that's interesting."
Oh,
But we like roundish numbers, right?
why not?
The Toronto Blue Jays, as of last night, are 3,850 wins and 3,850 losses all time.
That's actually insane.
Isn't that cool?
That's kind of great.
Huh. Anything else to add to that?
Nope.
No? Okay. I just thought that was a cool stat. We like a round number here. Now, let's get to
Steve,
what really matters. What really
If
matters.
that came up on your Twitter for you, if you're scrolling by,
Oh, my God.
does that get a heart? Or does that get a, and you keep going?
That gets a... I might mute the person. I might be like, what a nerd. Mute, nerd. Eat this mute, nerd.
No.
I don't think that's the case, Jesse. I think he's lying.
Yeah.
I
no.
think if he brought that to the show, he'd be very proud of himself.
Who
And I think
tweeted
he would
it?
bring that to himself.
I'm muting him.
It's
tweeted
an
it?
account called Codify Baseball.
Oh, I like them. Oh, you know what? That's interesting.
Oh, wow. You know what? I guess sometimes it is the source.
All right, the hockey.
Listen, I just want to start the show really and truly right here. The Sidney Crosby potentially leaving Pittsburgh thing was kind of cool and crazy. And it's like, wow, that's been interesting. And Pat Brisson going, hey, it could happen if they suck. And they will. Then last week, we got hit with the Kaprizov drama. Mm-hmm. And in between there was a little bit of Connor McDavid drama. And people were like, please stop asking him. Please. And, a local podcaster named 32 Thoughts, they said, screw your rules. And
Yeah, typical, because they're from Toronto.
Yeah, you see. And they're Toronto people. We don't know anything.
Well, it is.
Connor McDavid gave a very interesting answer to the question, which was different. This is where we talk about, it's like, we're going to talk about this when the story is furthered. The story has been furthered.
Yes.
Freach said something to the effect of, hey, I thought we'd be done here by now. Like, what are we talking about?
By the way, are we mentioning Crosby at some point?
Oh yeah, there's a Crosby follow-up.
There is a Crosby follow-up.
We'll do, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do
Oh,
it.
okay.
It's less interest. I just was like, fart. I don't believe it. We'll talk about it.
No, I think that's
Yeah,
a great
I have a
idea.
different
I
take.
saw Josh Yohe's tweet on it.
I have a different take.
Yeah.
But let's do Connor.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. I'm right in the middle of fucking Connor McDavid here.
I'm sorry.
God.
We're making Maddie's job harder for when she's
anyway.
I'm sorry.
The answer he gave was, my wife and I are obviously, like, we love being here in Edmonton, and we have every intention, as I said, to win here in Edmonton. And I have all the faith in the world in this 25-26 season and beyond. That, it still remains to be seen. And beyond that, it still remains to be seen. We have time. We have all the, it's our decision, basically. We've earned that, and we're going to take our time with it. And he has talked about, in a few other parts of the clip, about the fact that, like, this is and he says it's he and his family. Mm-hmm. We have earned this.
Yes.
We've earned this right. And they have. And, it's been interesting because we have seen every reason given by local media there, as you would expect, to go, here's why I think he will stay. In fact, some people were like, it's going to be done by X date. And
I have heard he will stay.
No, here's
Not
why
sources
I think.
are saying it's, so that's an educated guess.
Well, that's what it appears to be from this stage. Mm-hmm. And so I think that is a key differentiation point. Let's expand on that.
Sure.
Because when people throw stuff like that out there, I would expect, like, if CJ talks about this, and he is going to talk about this on the CJ show. Mm-hmm. They're recording tonight. It'll be out tomorrow. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. When you talk about something like that, you would expect CJ didn't just pull it out of the air, right? Now, you have to remember, a lot of these people, like, they're at the game every day. They know Connor. Connor would be able to pick them out of a line, which is more than I could say for myself. And they feel like, hey, I have some insight on this too. But it appears that Connor is, like, challenging the organization publicly on something. That's what this feels like to me.
It is not, listen, it's not overly encouraging at all. If you're an Oilers fan. If you're a fan of one of the 31 other teams, it's encouraging because, he might come here because he sure doesn't sound like he's committing to staying there. He mentions the 25-26 season in those words at least twice. Mm-hmm. Might have been more than that. And that felt very intentional. Like
very Mitch Marner last season. I'm committed to winning here. I'm committed to winning here. I'm committed to winning here this season.
Yeah, but
that's what he kept saying.
Yeah, this just feels a lot more direct, and it's like McDavid is a smart guy. Mm-hmm. He's been the next one for over a decade. He's known he was destined for this for a very long time. He's generally guarded, but pretty open and honest, and media trained. And he doesn't get in front of a microphone and say what he says without putting some thought into it first, without having an idea. Like, Connor McDavid did not sit down and get blindsided by these questions.
Yeah.
He sat down knowing, I am going to get asked about this. He was making jokes about it at the Olympic thing. And so to specifically say the 25-26 season felt very intentional. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't think anyone questions his strive to his efforts to win a Stanley Cup this year in Edmonton. Mm-hmm. No one is questioning that. But beyond that, and honestly, I think it's whether they win or lose. I think today the chances of him staying just went down. Or at minimum, the chances of him signing in Edmonton before July 1st, 2026 went down.
Jesse, how do you feel about Steve's statement there? Do you agree with that sentiment?
It's a bold statement that I think will, I don't know, and I don't know if it's going to anger a lot of Edmonton fans, but I don't know if they're going to agree with it.
Okay, ignore what I said. Instead of listening to what I said, go and listen to what McDavid said again.
I think
That'll make you feel better.
listening to McDavid in that interview, I think he doesn't even know the answer to what he's going to do.
I think that's correct.
I think it's wrong to make judgments on which way he's leaning right now because I don't believe Connor McDavid knows which way he's leaning right now. And if that's the case, then it's 50-50 because all options are available. The percentage is 0 and 100% because everything is on the table with McDavid right now. I think he truly is using the time that is afforded to him. Yes. And I think those questions where he asks, hey, how are you going to do with Edmonton? What's going on here? He's like, well, I got this season. And I know that for certain. That is a guarantee in life. I got this season right now. So going beyond that is a question mark for him and the team and the organization. I think everybody who's not a future teller and has a time machine. So I don't think he knows.
And that in itself, I think, is discouraging for Oilers fans who thought this would be done.
Because
I think a lot of people thought this would be done.
I think there was a lot of, to agree with Steve on that one, I think there was a lot of, don't worry about it. But that was the messaging from the media.
That to me is wish casting that upon Connor McDavid, who I don't think knew at any point what he was going to do.
I agree.
If people in the media and fans are saying McDavid's going to sign by September 1st, we're going to get to training camp, he's going to have that contract. You're lying. Because he doesn't know that.
No.
He didn't know that at any point. It's still where it was last July, where we are today. It's the exact same conversation. It's McDavid is waiting to make this decision, and I don't believe in his mind he has made a decision yet.
Now, a therapist would call that projection.
Yes.
You're projecting the answer you want on the person from the person. And so I am, at least at this point, and listen, if I were to handicap it, I think that overwhelming majority as of September 17th, when this is recording, would say, yeah, probably staying, but he's leaving the door open. But as we keep telling you, okay, every single day that this goes on, the door gets slightly wider, slightly wider, slightly wider. The noise will pick up on this. And one thing I want to run through, guys, I'm gonna do something really unfair, but I'm gonna do it.
Do it.
25-26. And actually, we just shot our Edmonton Oilers preview video on Monday. Mm-hmm. Our season previews are coming out this week. We already got the Calgary one up as of this recording.
Starting today.
But I'm just going to read you some numbers. Because, we're hockey people. We like numbers. Advanced stats, we'll get behind these numbers. Mm-hmm. Luddite stats, like your uncle, they'll get behind these numbers. The number is age. Leon Draisaitl is 29. Zach Hyman is 33. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is 32. Trent Frederick, 27. Andrew Mangiapane, 29. Adam Henrique, 35. Matthias Janmark, 32. Kasperi Kapanen, 29. And I'm gonna leave the rest of the forwards like Savoy and Howard and stuff. Young, 21.
Yes. Yeah.
Bouchard, 25. Hey, that's great.
Yes.
Darnell Nurse, 30. Matthias Ekholm, 35. Wallman, 29. I think he's going to probably stay and extend. Brett Kulak, 31. And so when I look at the core of what the Edmonton Oilers have been that have got to the finals, most of those names, with the exception of Connor and Leon and Evan Bouchard, are 30-plus already.
Yeah.
They're 30-plus already.
Do I get kicked down the stairs for saying Skinner's young?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's not a part. Stuart Skinner is not a part of the core of the Edmonton Oilers, right? He's not. Oh, I'm sorry. Is Stuart Skinner part of the core of the Edmonton Oilers?
You're starting goalie.
I would say he's
not. Well, then that's an issue. That would be the first thing I think Connor McDavid is challenging the organization on.
I think Stuart Skinner is young and he's 26.
Connor Ingram is available.
And he's a large part of the Edmonton Oilers in that he's a very capable 1A or 1B. He just needs his tandem and he doesn't have that and they haven't provided that for him.
Listen, Calvin Pickett's numbers have been not so bad. Not so bad in the playoffs.
Let's knock that off.
But again, you see my point.
Yes.
Which is, okay, even if he is a 1B, that's what we're bringing to Bobrovsky party?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, okay, fine. All right, you got through, I forget who they played in the first. Who did they play in the first round?
Kings.
How
could you possibly?
Yeah, of course, you're
You
right.
could have said that the last 4 years and been right.
Yeah.
I didn't even watch them. Get a blind guess. Kings.
Yeah.
Who's it going to be this year? I don't know. Probably the Kings.
They got through Kemper, had a good bounce back here.
Nominated for the Vezina.
Aiden Hill, who hasn't quite looked the same since they won the cup. Third round, which you did.
Oh, Ottinger.
Ottinger, good goalie.
Damn.
But it was his fault, according to the head coach.
Right.
And then Bobrovsky. Every one of those goalies, had a better season last year than Stuart Skinner. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at the core. Most of them are 32, 33. A couple of people are not. And I grant you, one of them is Evan Bouchard, who's phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at this and I'm going, Connor McDavid, he could re-sign for sure. I don't see long term. I go back to if he re-signs 2 years, 3 years.
Could even do one. Like I could say.
Well, sure.
It's so when we were recording the Oilers preview, I know a lot of people. I feel like the vibe is very down on them.
It shouldn't be.
The mood is down on them because of the way it ended, because of the way they did nothing in net and are kind of like bullish.
Well, they were bullish at the trade deadline about it. They did get, and listen, what they would sit here and tell you is, hey, Steve, we got to Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final.
You sure did. You want to win 2 more of those, or?
Well, we didn't have Zach.
No, still no. Okay. So you've been to back-to-back Stanley Cup playoffs, Stanley Cup Finals. Mm-hmm. So you know what 2 months of hockey does to a person. There's a real good chance you're down. Okay, maybe it's not Zach Hyman this year. Maybe it's Nuge. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's Connor. Maybe it's Leon.
Well,
maybe it's Evan.
Here's a way to look at it.
You have no idea.
You've played 13 Stanley Cup games in the last 2 years, and that's really great.
Yes.
You've won 5 of them.
Man, like, do you want to win or not? Like, and a lot of people would argue you're an adequate goalie away from doing just
I would argue that.
Yeah.
I would be chief among the arguers of that.
But, sorry, I started that to say I think they might actually be better than last year. This might be the best team that they've iced out of the 3 years.
I agree with that because the chances of them repeating the last 2 Octobers this October, I think, are pretty slim.
Even if they do, I mean, we know it doesn't bloody matter. To me, one of the biggest wild cards in the entire league, just because of the importance to his organization, is Isaac Howard. If Isaac Howard is the player that we all think he can potentially be for the Oilers, if he turns into a bang, 25-goal guy out the gate, which is a lot to ask for a rookie, but it's possible if he's put in the right position. If he's that out the gate, they are winning the division. They are winning the conference. They got a real good chance at winning a Stanley Cup here. They didn't lose a ton, gained some. They could win. That, to me, should be, like, at some point, I've said this a few times, Connor said what he said, and it's over. And you got to concentrate on the season in front of you.
And if you're a player, that's true. But for everybody else, that's not true.
Well, you're going to cheer for a first-place team and feel bad about it the whole time?
The Leafs did last year. We had a first-place divisional team the entire year.
I don't think people felt bad about it the whole time. I think people...
Well, okay, you're right. That's fair.
People did a very good job, I think, of ignoring the Marner stuff with a couple hiccups.
I think because we'd already been down that road.
Yes.
The Oilers have not. Not with this group. Not with this group.
Not really. Yeah. I think fans, for the most part, were pretty good at ignoring it, keeping it bottled. And then the moment it was absolutely time to worry about it, all those mental gymnastics that we did to get through the winter and the spring exploded.
Jess, what do you think if you could give Connor McDavid truth serum and you could sit in a room with him? What do you think his hang up here is? Because, yes, he's going to think about it. There's time to think about it, whatever. That means if there's time to think about it, he's thinking about other places to play.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Right? Which is fair. What would you say is his hang up with the Oilers? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I don't think you were far off at all with pointing out the flaws in the roster. I think when you look at it and you look at the seasons to come, there isn't room for error here anymore with the Edmonton Oilers. Like, teams, we forget the teams that don't win and the San Jose Sharks like a peak among them of that
God.
era. You only have so many kicks at the can when you're a really good team.
The Blues
And-
for a
my God.
long
Yeah,
yeah, but they
30
got it
years.
done, right?
They
Yeah,
in
they did
2019, but like
How many?
everyone thought like they dominated for like a decade.
Mm-hmm.
Brett
without-
Hall, Pierre Turgeon, Wayne Gretzky, Shane Corson,
With nothing.
like Chris Pronger, like Al McInnes. It was crazy.
Oh, you're going like back.
well, but that's
Yeah,
how
yeah,
long
yeah.
it lasted.
But they were-
Right.
They kept running into Detroit though.
They were the bridesmaid team,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then the Sharks were the bridesmaid team, and then like we're talking. You might be like, oh, the Leafs. No. These teams got deep,
Mm-hmm.
and they just never pulled it off.
Yeah. So and like even like throw at Nashville. Nashville is such a good team when you run up against Sidney Crosby, and it's what can you do? But with the Edmonton Oilers, like McDavid's looking at the roster and he's wondering, if I sign this 7-8 year deal, am I going to be around for 6 more seasons of winning? Like, is this team capable of winning the Stanley Cup? We had 2 kicks at the can here, and the first time we were closer than the second time. So they're going backwards, and he knows it, and everybody in Edmonton knows it. So this year, you're here, you're going to try and do it again, but in 26, like, are they going to be closer than they were in 24? And I don't know that looking at the roster. Like, you run through all those names, there's huge question marks everywhere with the aging curve on those players and who's going to replace them, the salary cap situation. It's not pretty in Edmonton. Like, it's not an enviable situation to try and build this team as a Stanley Cup tender year in and year out. And with McDavid's number on the books, it only gets tougher. So he's got to be weighing, is this team going to win in 3 years?
What's their cap space look like, or what's
They have
their
like none.
cap
It's,
situation?
It's 225.
Oh,
I mean, that's more than
that's
I
roughly
thought.
my monthly salary. So
Honestly,
Oh, you thought it was more?
I-
you thought
I
it was
thought-
less than 200 grand?
I thought they'd be dipping into LTIR.
yeah.
The fact they have any is surprising to me.
So
You can't even sign a player for that.
So what do they have on their roster right now? Like how many forwards, how many D? Like are
They
they
have a full
are they
roster.
full?
They got a roster, yeah.
they're full.
Right, but what I mean by full, like even spares. Oh, okay, they got 3 spares.
This is who's in their training camp roster.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel. Yeah, I guess this is what
They're
everyone's
good.
roster looks
Like, I don't think we're concerned
this is
about
a good
them
team.
adding anybody. It's just a matter of the collection of players now and the collection of players next year.
How long do they have it?
That's what McDavid has to think about right now. Like,
And
this season he's there. What about next year? Because I'm going to sign to play there next year. Is that next year team also going to win the Stanley Cup?
I think it's cool that they got Isaac Howard. I think it's cool they got Matthew Savoy. Oliver Hudson, by the way, you should not ignore. Pod Colson seems to have found a home there. Kasperi Kapanen had a renaissance playoff. Good for him. We're happy for him.
Couldn't believe it.
Let me ask you this. How important and how different might this look? And I'm not saying it would change anything completely. How important was August 2024? How much different does this roster look with Holloway and Broberg still on it?
I mean, incredibly different because those guys make $7 million combined or something like that.
Like, do you need to go out and get Mangiapane if you've got Holloway? Do you, and I would think, no disrespect to Ty Emberson or Troy Stetcher or even Brett Kulak, but I would say that Broberg fits that group a lot better.
well, here's what mismanaging your cap does to a team. After a full season, after those offer sheets, we now know that Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg are not just worth the offer sheets they signed, they are
Better than-
on crazy discounts. Holloway for less than $3 million, psychotic.
It's 2.2.
At 60
It's
2.2.
ridiculous.
and depth scoring 60
Yeah,
points.
Jeff Jackson didn't know what he had.
I guess
yeah.
not.
You needed to just sign those players and move forward and move on. And he thought, like, oh, I'm going to lose them. It's okay. I don't want to pay him. It'll be fine. I can fill in those gaps. But he didn't realize that these guys are going to be really useful pieces.
Right. So that, and they're young too. That screwed them bad.
Yeah.
Now, despite that, they still made it.
Yeah.
And they
all
were
the way
great.
to the Cup
Yeah.
final.
And they're a great team.
Broberg also, like, his deal's expiring at the end of this season. Still an RFA. Like, it's not even like you're going to lose him to free agency or anything. You would still have him under control.
Yeah.
Like, there's if you nitpick along the lines of the McDavid era in Edmonton, there's a lot of mismanagement there.
And I think we pay closer attention to those little nitpicks than we do with other teams, because it's like how we talk about Crosby and like, okay, you're the Penguins, but you are also the stewards for an all-time legend. And believe it or not, people are actually sort of rooting for you. But like even people who don't root for you are rooting for you, because it's not necessarily because I want the Penguins to win, but it would be nice to see them win because of the legacy of Sidney Crosby. I think a lot of people feel the same way about the Edmonton Oilers and Connor McDavid.
Yep.
There was a part of hockey history that was made whole when Alex Ovechkin won his Stanley Cup in 2018. Yep. It was a wrong that was righted almost. Imagine last year he breaks Gretzky's record, doesn't have a cup.
It's not as sweet.
And at the end of his career, we're talking about the all-time leading goal scorer never won a cup. It's wrong.
No, the majority of hockey fans want to see McDavid lift the Stanley Cup one day just for the legacy of the game. It would mean something, and I think he is one of the best players we have, and he deserves to be on top of that mantle at some point.
And he knows that.
And he knows it, and that's what he's chasing. And Steve, we talk about a lot the Leafs era and how like their final flaw wasn't like the end of it and the Mitch and all that stuff. It comes like years earlier, and like the 2019 season, you should have blown it up then. Should never given Mitch the no trade clause. Like there's things that led to the dominoes that lead to the Leafs losing. And with the McDavid era, I look at when Draisaitl made that 8.25 contract that just is up this past season, and Connor was on the 12.5, and how if you're a GM and you have two of the best players in the game, if you go two of the top three in the game under beautiful contracts, that was your window to win. And now that they're trying to get it done now, I'm like, maybe those are the dominoes and how we'll look back on the McDavid era. And it's like, you should have won then. Like that was your time when you had those sweet contracts, and it's not about winning now in 25. You already missed your window.
When Ken Holland said, we can't do it every year.
Oh my God!
We can't make a run every year.
Yes, you bloody can.
And I want to.
They are doing it every year. Here.
Let me give you some news. This is good. This will add to your point. This is breaking. Yeah. Because people are. Stan Bowman is talking to the reporter, so I figured you'd like
right now. Oh, this is going to be one of those shows. Okay.
Oilers GM Stan Bowman. This is from Daniel Nugent Bowman of the Nugent dashed last name crew. Also Nugent Hopkins. Oilers GM Stan Bowman says he is not looking to sign goalie Carter Hart. He likes where Stuart Skinner is at. The expectation is that that Skinner will start the season as the number one goalie. And the first comment under it from an Oilers fan is dumbest shit ever. Fuck.
Oh my God. Carter Hart doesn't want to play in Canada.
No, that was pretty clear. Yeah, I'm not.
He's not the only goalie in the world.
I'm responding to the person asking that question. Stan Bowman have to respond to that. Like, it was never an option for him to go to Edmonton because Carter Hart doesn't want to go to Edmonton.
Yes. So. However, Connor Ingram and the Utah Mammoth, it's come out today, even though it was denied last night, that they are going their separate ways, and it's mutual. So Connor Ingram will not show up to camp. That was announced today. They're going to try to find him a new home. And so that's out there publicly because privately they couldn't move him.
Yeah.
And so now they're making it more public. Like, okay, who wants this guy? And it's not because he's a bad goalie. I think he's a very good goalie.
Yeah. He went into the assistance program, right?
Yep. And you know what? Yeah. After a lot of a lot of people that come out of that need major change in their life.
Yeah.
They need a different structure and they want a fresh start. And I don't blame him. And I wish him all the best on that front.
100%.
This is a goalie who, at his very best, last year was not a great indicator of that. But his two previous seasons with the Coyotes, who were bad, 27 games in 22-23, 50 in 23-24, both with identical 907 save percentages. And the four games he's played in the playoffs, remember in 2021 we were in my basement and it was Nashville versus somebody. The last time we were in the playoffs, was it Nashville? And you were like, they need to play Connor Ingram, and they did.
Oh! Colorado?
I think it was Colorado.
And they were supposed to just get killed.
Yes, and they did, but he still had a 913 save percentage.
And I want to say a shutout or something.
No wins. He had a 364 goals against average and a 913 save percentage. That's how.
So they just got caved.
They just got caved.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Connor Ingram has it.
You're thinking of that game 2 against Nashville. It was 1-1 in OT, and then they lost 2-1.
Right.
That's probably
what are the shots?
The shots were he made 49 saves. on 51 shots.
Holy shit!
Ingram was,
Couldn't make 50 though.
That's the one you're thinking about.
Wow.
He's unreal.
He made. Wait.
Put the glasses on, Boomer.
30, 49, 35, 33. Never let in. Wait, so
Hold on. He made 32. 30. Oh, that's the shots. Okay, never mind.
man.
Hold on. So he made 30 saves. Oh, because he came in relief in the first game.
They lost 7-2, and he played parts of
He made 30 saves in relief? Fuck.
it. The other guy allowed
A lot.
Oh my
5 real
God.
quick. He played 44 minutes. It's almost a full game.
Oh my God. They shouldn't have shown up to the buildings.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
poor Connor.
That was a tough series for
That's
Nashville.
Yeah.
Hey, and that I believe was their last appearance in the. No, it wasn't.
No,
No,
Canucks.
Vancouver.
That's right.
Wow.
The boringest series ever.
Anyway, real good goalie. Last year
Needed help.
needed help.
Got it.
You never know how a player comes out of an experience like that, right? But I'm cheering for him. I want him to land somewhere, and like this is with as it pertains to the Oilers. It was last year, or the year before. We were like, there's just no goalies. There's goalies now.
Yeah.
There's goalies who
Funny
are
how
available.
that swings because last year there wasn't
Yes.
many, but the swings are big on that. Like the goaltending market, it's either like feast or famine, right?
There are 2 teams with 3 multi-million-dollar goalies.
Yep.
That's weird, and they're rebuilding.
And none of them are Detroit, which is wild. Last
Yeah,
year,
give it time.
give it time.
No, but they made a deal with Detroit to get one of them,
True.
right? Like, but here's the problem.
You have
The
to have a
Oilers-
management group that believes they need it.
Believes they need it, but the Oilers don't have the space to even take those swings.
Well, I remember the first round last year, and the Oilers did play the Kings. I remember that now. I think going into Game 4 or after Game 4, and if you include the previous 2 or 3 regular seasons games against LA, there wasn't a single game over a 7-game stretch where the Oilers had allowed less than 4 goals against Los
That's
Angeles.
crazy.
And they won that series.
Yeah.
But you remember games 1 and games 2, it was 6 this and 6 that. And
Oh, they blew it.
Yeah, and LA blew it.
Yeah.
But that was that. I'm sorry, you can't tell me that's not a problem.
Yeah. No, it's an enormous problem.
And my favorite quote last year is one word, and the context is, are you getting a goaltender at the trade deadline? And it's Stan Bowman saying no.
F you. Like, I
It wasn't F you.
I
He did
don't
say
know if
no.
it was that.
he said F you. No, like
No, it was one word.
I think I'm higher on I'm higher on Stuart
like
Skinner.
Steve's quote.
He said F you.
Start attributing things to Stan Bowman.
Yeah.
The moon landing never happened.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Just
Stan
create those
Bowman.
Twitter graphics. you know?
Yeah. It's Stan Bowman's face on it.
Yeah. Pickard like wins a ton of games. Seems like a great guy. But man, watching him last year, I'm like, okay.
Listen,
He's doing his best, which is a compliment. Someone else in that role, though, for God's sake.
Hey, listen, you're talking about a general manager who won his first Stanley Cup with Antti Niemi in net. I think that he doesn't, and Corey Crawford was a good goalie.
No, I think. Was Bowman the GM for. Oh, yes, he very famously was.
Yes.
Never mind. Yes.
Yes.
Niemi.
Niemi was in net. And then everybody's like, wow, Antti Niemi won a cup. And then they got him out of town, and his career sputtered after.
He got offer sheeted.
Corey Crawford, good goalie. I wouldn't say the greatest goalie of all time, but I think Chicago fans love Corey Crawford.
He was real solid. He was
real solid. But I don't think Stan Bowman, based on his history, is the kind of guy that believes you got to go do what Florida did and pay $10 million for a goalie.
Well, that decision looked kind of stupid for a few years.
It did. Oh, yeah. Well, it looked for a bit like Spencer Knight and Alex Lyon were going to take the net from him.
Uh-huh.
So, but my point is, if you look at Stan's history, I'm not really surprised. And so we shall see how it goes.
The lesson should be goaltending is very important. You had Corey Crawford.
Can I attempt to answer or find a solution for one of the things you addressed there, Steve?
Okay.
In that they don't have the room to make these deals and acquire these players and be creative. Is the room not filled up by a $9.25 million defenseman who is not worth that price?
When we were talking about the original sins of this team,
Yes.
what I was going to say is, like the Leafs, they thought the cap was going to go up, and it didn't, and they got boned in that regard. However, what made you think Darnell Nurse makes more than Cale Makar? Cale Makar! They signed their deal, I want to say, around the same time. Cale Makar. There were, I want to say, who are all the guys who signed their deals around that time? It was Makar. I think it was McAvoy. There were all these guys signing in and around $9 million, and you thought Nurse was one of them? No! Like, he's... Every now and then he decides he's Bobby Orr and like can give you a highlight.
Yep.
He tries hard.
That goal that he scored in the playoffs with the steam coming out of his ears. Perfect pick. That's so badass.
I'm not saying he's dog shit.
That's
He's 9-2-5.
I never want that to be the conversation with Darnell Nurse because he's not a bad defenseman. He's just not worth that price. And to make it even worse, your Cale Makar comparison's perfect because Cale Makar signed his deal, which is $9 million, on July 24th, 2021.
July 24th, 2021.
Darnell Nurse signed his extension, which is more than Cale Makar. It's $9.25 million. On August 4th, 2021.
Oh, Jesus.
They decided just a few weeks later that he deserved this contract that is more than Cale Makar.
They watched other teams, right?
That's Ken Holland who made that deal. And that's like, I feel like the original sins of the Edmonton Oilers, this has got to be one of the big ones.
You know what, Jess? I can see why it happened. Because Ken Holland would look at Cale Makar and go, yeah, but he's not tough. He's not a big body. He doesn't stop. He would not refer to it as zone entries. But like, look at the signings he made this offseason. Right? You look, especially on defense. Cody Ceci values a big body who's a bit slow, doesn't do a whole lot on the offensive side of the puck. Nurse does a lot more on the offensive side of the puck than Ceci, but that is what Ken Holland likes.
He signed Darnell Nurse
Yep.
to more than Cale Makar
After
Cale Makar.
Prison.
What is that?
Immediate prison.
For like 15 days later?
Maybe he was on vacation.
It's prison days later. Go to prison. Go immediately to prison.
I look at the Edmonton Oilers and the McDavid run from 2018 till 2025. They had Draisaitl and McDavid on pretty good contracts, $12.5 million and $8.5 million. And through that era, they did things like this.
Yeah, losing Clefbaum did hurt them too. I will say that. And the Holland trade for Ekholm.
Every damn team goes through adversity.
Yeah, they didn't fill in the gaps. When you have two of the best players in the world, it should be easy to fill in the gaps and provide them with just enough resources to win a Stanley Cup, and they haven't done that.
This conversation, early on in this conversation, we talked about the San Jose Sharks of the 2010s. Now that we have some hindsight, do we talk about how close they got or that they didn't win?
That we talk about how sad it is that they don't have a cup in San Jose.
Right, because you're going to get people going, well, Conference Final 2022 and Stanley Cup Final and Stanley Cup Final. They didn't win.
It means dick all.
And the fact that they got so close leaves your imagination to wander, well, what could have got them there? You're looking at every part of the team that got to the final and going, well, it got them there and it got them close. Okay, what if it was someone else in any of these spots?
Well, and
is it unfair? Is it harsh? Sure.
But
it's the winning business.
When Holland got the Ekholm trade done, and it was a good one.
Great deal.
Yeah.
The best of his tenure, probably.
Things clicked.
Yeah.
And I think part of, you take those risks as a general manager. I think when Holland was hired, a lot of people raised their eyebrows, but he sure was an improvement on the previous guy.
Yes.
They also need to get their coaching situation sorted out. Woodcroft had a quick little run there. The guy before him, who was that guy? Tippett. Dave Tippett was the coach there for a bit.
Was it Tippett before Woodcroft?
Yes.
They've had so much turnover.
That's also the thing. And I think part of that is, and we got to point at this a little bit, if we're going to go back this far, is I think the hiring of Bob Nicholson was a bit of a disaster for them. I don't think he put the right people in place. I don't think he was, this is a guy who was with Hockey Canada for years. That's a much different thing.
It's not the same.
It's a much different thing than running an NHL franchise, especially with the change that the NHL had seen from 2010 to 2019.
Team Canada has no salary cap.
Yes, and the World Juniors, you're not paying them.
No salary.
There's a massive jump in the way that the game is looked at, the way that the game is played from 2010 to 2019. We know that. And the Oilers were out there going, yeah, well, fuck that. and that predates Nicholson taking over with Chiarelli in that era, but it also continued, and I think that's how Ken Holland gets hired. And you notice when Jeff Jackson takes over, Ken Holland's contract expires and it lapses, and he's gone.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. It's a pyramid effect, right? It's from the top, everything is affected by it. So getting back to Connor. They have his former agent at the top of the organization. They have a 3-time Stanley Cup winner in the last 15 years as the general manager. They have his coach from junior as the coach of the team.
Everything is in place to please Connor.
They've done everything they can for the last 2 to 3 years to keep this guy.
Well, perhaps not everything.
And it might not be enough. And that is the story right now.
Does Jeff Jackson play net?
Yeah.
That might help.
You have to think that's
might
the
help.
conversation.
Mark
Now,
Carney does.
Mark
Carney plays net.
does.
Now we're cooking with gas.
Now,
Let's
We gotta
figure it
Gotta
out.
start using this thing up here a little.
and
Oh,
when you're a goalie,
let's
elbows
go.
up, right? Elbows up. You see?
Yeah, hey,
Yeah, 'cause you gotta save the puck.
if you're a goaltender,
10 the elbows.
10 the elbows.
Know where your posts are.
Make a commercial with Mike Myers.
Okay. Crosby. Jesse, I sent you the clip from Josh Yohe. Crosby did what he does every year. And what's been interesting the last few years is that we've been like, hey, Sid could leave. And everybody in Pittsburgh's like, no, he couldn't. You're dumb. Stop being dumb. And here's proof. He's delivering season tickets to season ticket holders. And so the Penguins media were invited to this particular person's house where he was handing, which is very cool,
What
by
a
the way.
surreal moment in that person's life.
Yeah, like seriously, I love that they do this.
Yeah,
I think
100%.
This is so amazing.
Yep.
And I would love for that to happen in Toronto. For whatever reason, it doesn't. But Sid talked to people on camera. Here's 36 seconds of if he's a fan of tanking.
Making the playoffs. Can you talk about the benefits of at least just getting into the playoffs for any team?
I mean, it's professional sports. You play to win. I mean, that's how I view it, and you're not going to convince me otherwise. And if you're one of those people that believe that, then you're entitled to believe in that. But that's not why I signed up to play the game, and that's not the game that I know. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to look at it that way, I guess you can. It's one perspective, but I don't really, that's not really one that resonates with me. So it's kind of hard to understand that.
Okay, now let me say this. If you're a Penguins fan, would you not die for this man?
Crosby is so classy.
Yeah.
That is the closest he will ever come to calling you a stupid motherfucker, but that is exactly what he meant. If you think tanking works, you're a stupid motherfucker. Except he said it like that. Because he's Sidney Crosby, the epitome of class.
Steve, you had a controversial opinion on this?
Well, controversial to our friend
I want to hear this.
over here.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Adam.
Adam doesn't remember.
No. You know
40
what?
minutes ago.
I'm not ready yet because he talks more. Do you have more quotes?
That's the one I have.
That's the one I got sent.
What did he say? What does he say?
What's the other
Paraphrase
one?
it. Go.
He wants to be a Penguin.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
I'm
shocked by that. Did he sign an extension last year with the Penguins?
I am leaving him alone indefinitely, but I'll tell you when it ends. I'll tell you when it ends.
Oh,
I'll tell you when it ends. Because again, Pat Brisson left the door open. Crosby throws him right at Pat Brisson has tire marks on him today because Crosby threw him under the bus. Basically going, yeah, he was talking for himself. I want to be here.
Okay, here it is.
Here it is.
There's a lot of narratives out there, and I don't think a lot of those have come from me. So, this is where I want to be. I love it here, and you know, I can't keep having to answer the same question over again because of these narratives. You know, like, if people want to write about that or say that, that's fine. But,
Your agent said it.
you know, I can't really control that. Obviously, when you lose and when there's certain things that happen, I think it's normal for that stuff to come up. But you know, that's how I feel.
It's normal for that stuff to come up when you lose. Okay. Listen, I'm going to leave him alone. This guy's a Penguin through and through.
I know you guys talk a lot, you and Sid.
Oh, yeah, we do. I would love to talk to him again. I really would.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
It was too short. Damn it. I'm going to leave him alone. He's a Penguin through and through. I think if it were up to him, he would be a Penguin forever. However, Adam, he said something that will, if it comes to fruition, I will be fully back on your side. And I will demand that man get traded.
Let's be clear. What's my side?
Your side is trade him. That's your side.
It is.
Trade him. You're the Toronto Devil.
My side is this guy has paid millions of dollars to a guy over the course of his career who represents him, who said it could happen.
Yeah. And also, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. You're the Toronto Devil. That's you. He wears 8, 7. What comes after that? 6. Toronto Media Devil, Adam Wilde. Devil's uniform.
Had
The
one.
Devil's pajamas.
I had a Doug Gilmour.
I've been reading the
jersey.
signs for years.
Yeah.
Pay close attention to what all the frogs do when Adam's around. Anyway, listen. I am leaving him alone, but I'm going to be right on his ass if the Penguins obviously tank.
Yeah, but they're going to suck.
They're not obviously tanking.
They're not. No, I think Crosby thinks they're gunning for the playoffs.
Hey, Steve, remember that Matt Sundin book you read?
Yes, I'll
You
tell
know
the
that-
story
tell the
again.
story.
Yeah, we're going
I'll
to
tell
for
the
the 8th time.
Tell the damn
Here we
story.
go.
I don't care because it bears repeating.
Yes.
Sundin's last season with the Leafs was, I believe, 07-08. It was my first year of LFR. Crazy. Going into year 19. He talks about a game. The Leafs lose. He comes in the dressing room, and Sundin, who was criticized for being like too calm and understated of a leader, comes in the room and flips over a table. Loses his mind. And he talks about, we don't get unlimited cracks at this. We're right there. We're right there. We can win.
What season?
Matt Sundin, who is so good at hockey and smart regarding hockey that he was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame, thought the 07-08 Leafs were close.
I'm just going to look up the roster here.
Yes. Yeah. Please. Because these Pittsburgh Penguins, the current Pittsburgh Penguins,
Okay.
are light years ahead of that team.
Sundin. Antropov was their second leading scorer. Carberlet, Jason Blake, Alexander Steen, Pavel Kubina, Ponikarovsky. The end of Darcy Tucker's tenure, Matt Stajan, Brian McCabe was about to get traded. Kyle Wellwood, Ian White, Hal Gill, Boyd Devereaux. They're goaltenders. Vesatoskala, Scott Clemenson, and Andrew Raycroft.
What were their save percentages, Adam? Were
Actually,
they good?
Vesatoskala's best season as a Leaf, I think, at 904.
It was legitimately his best season as a Leaf. Yeah.
Raycroft, 876, and Clemenson,
Unplayable.
839.
Unplayable, both of them.
Yeah.
So you have two goalies who are unplayable, so you played the wheels off Toskala. All that to say, the Penguins right now, honest to God, like I know a lot of people aren't going to like this, you could have a hot month or two, you get a few saves, maybe you make a move. They could make the playoffs. They could.
Jari goes on a run.
They could. But
I'm not expecting it.
I'm not expecting it, but they absolutely could, and I would be mildly surprised, I'm going to say.
Really?
No, their decor sucks. You're right.
Shocked.
I would be
I would be
surprised.
blown away. And anything's possible in pro sports.
Yes.
That's the thing that's why this thing is so fun. That's why we watch it.
Yeah.
And if they did that, that would be one of those instances where I would say, oh my God, this was so unbelievably unexpected.
Their decor is so damn bad. I really like their forwards. They could make some saves. They could be in the mix.
Adam, what percentage are you putting on the Penguins making the playoffs?
15.
Yeah.
That is fair. I think that's fair.
I want to be fair.
I think that's perfectly
the
fair.
funny part is we're
that's
coming,
not a likely scenario.
No, it
we're
is
coming
not.
off a scenario, Jesse, where every insider all summer told us the only team that's selling are the Pens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only team not trying to get better are the Pens. Do you think they pulled that out of their ass, all of them?
No.
There's like 7 of those guys.
Give me a sec, though, because I'm bringing this back to you.
Give it to me.
I think they're in the fight. You trade Rust. You trade Raquel.
Yeah.
The white flag is Malkin.
Well, he's not coming back. They've already said that.
Then the moment Evgeny Malkin is no longer in a Pittsburgh Penguins uniform, you have waved the white flag on Crosby.
I'm gonna compare and contrast.
Or ever winning again with Crosby in a Penguins uniform.
Here's where if Crosby was saying stuff like this, I'd be like, he's a Penguin for life. And it comes from his best friend, and it's from today.
Who's Sidney Crosby's best friend?
Nathan McKinnon.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Really?
Nathan McKinnon said, so Crosby's like, I'm not a fan of tanking, which I get. As a fan, I was a fan of it when the Leafs needed the guys that they currently have. Right? That was a good thing for the Leafs ultimately. No. But while you have those good players, you don't want to be tanking.
You're not a fan of tanking, but Marc-Andre Fleury, Evgeny Malkin, Sidney Crosby,
Chris Letang.
and Jordan Staal. Yeah, Chris Letang. All of your fans are.
Yes. Nathan McKinnon said to the press just moments ago, I thought we were good enough to win last year. Crosby's not saying that. That's the difference. I'm not a fan of losing. Yeah, well, I would expect that from one of the greatest players ever. And by the way, I'm not one of the greatest players ever at fucking anything. I don't like losing either. Mm-hmm. It's so great. What a crazy concept. Losing sucks. You learn things. But shit, man, fucking sucks. Nathan McKinnon is out here saying, I thought we were good enough to win last year. When he sat in the dressing room at the end of the playoffs when they lost to Dallas, what did he say? Do you remember what he said?
Remind me.
He said, I don't know what we're going to do here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember the vibe, and it was anger.
Yeah.
I don't get that from Sid. I get the, I want to win. Mm-hmm. I don't get that. And you could talk all you fucking want. Where are the actions? If Pittsburgh is serious about winning this year, and they're not, then they would have gone out with a money cannon and fired all of their money at anybody who actually made it to free agency and fired all their draft picks and anybody that was willing to make a trade.
Who on earth is like, I'm signing with the Penguins?
Of course. but the selling point is still, it's Crosby's last go.
You get to play with Sid.
We'll pay you a lot of money short term. You can come play with Sid. Oh, man, that's a pretty good ask. Come on.
Yeah.
Are you telling me you wouldn't sign up for that? If Connor's not available and Florida's capped out, playing with Crosby would be a cool memory to tell your grandkids. My point is, the actions of the Penguins back up what Brisson said, which is anything can happen. Crosby is reinforcing that by saying, I don't want to lose.
How about this? At some point, you got to think of it this way. As the Penguins, if they go down the path we all think they're going to, they're not going to do well, and they're going to sell off assets. At some point, they are doing this to Sid.
Yes.
What is happening at the end of Sidney Crosby's career is something that is being actively done to his career by the Pittsburgh Penguins. Do you understand?
Yes.
It's got nothing to do with any fans or any media or anyone, but Penguins management is doing this to Sidney Crosby.
And they did it starting in the Burke Hextall era. And Kyle had to undo a lot of stuff from that.
Don't think it's Kyle's fault.
But July 2023 happened. And that is Kyle's fault.
But that's on the heels of 20 years of success. Like that to me, like they had this is always what happens with great franchises.
Yep.
They have to go through this. And Kyle Dubas was brought in. He couldn't immediately, I don't think he had the permission to go, I'm in a tank.
He didn't because Crosby wanted to keep winning, and I don't blame him.
Exactly. So I don't put that blame on his shoulders. What do you guys take away from the beginning of that, the second quote that we played from you, Steve, where he says, "This is where I want to be. I love it here." Is that an indication that he wants to stay? Like, or is
Of course.
Or does that change?
I think he wants to be there, but the price of being there is you suck.
So is he going to be able to stomach the sucking, or does "this is where I want to be" change if the team is in fact bad, but he doesn't think they're bad right now?
That's what we're going to find out.
Yeah, that's why I think like this story isn't a leave Crosby alone story.
Yeah.
This story is hey, when the Penguins are 6-9, and then all of a sudden they're 10-18, and then all of a sudden they're 20-40, and this thing's a disaster. They have the third best odds to finish with the least amount of points in the NHL this coming season.
Wow.
It's
I think that's a bit dramatic.
it's
but
the
wow.
Blackhawks, Sharks, and then Penguins.
I don't think that's dramatic at all.
That's where the people have
Sorry, was-
this team.
Artur Silovs had a good little run with the Canucks, but they were not confident enough in him last year with Demko injured. So they go out and get Lankinen, and then they trade him after they go all the way to the finals in the AHL, which the Calder Cup does matter to Kyle Dubas. And so now, your pairing is Artur Silovs, unproven, and Tristan Jarry, proven to be not playable.
With a not great defense in front of them.
Listen, everything comes with a price. If Pittsburgh is where you want to be, and you love it there and you want to stay there, that's fine. The price is the relevance of your NHL career is over.
That I think is a
that's
bad
not
way
fair.
to put it.
That's
Why
not
is
fair.
that not fair?
He's going to the Olympics.
You used the wrong
NHL.
relevance-
That's a part of it.
And it is
Part
bloody
of it.
not.
Yes, it is.
No, it is not.
Oh, okay.
The Olympics are the Olympics.
We don't look
I think-
at people's performance. The golden goal. We don't look at that as a part of Crosby's.
That's not part of his NHL
but
accomplishment.
Steve,
it's
I
part of
think-
his hockey career.
his NHL
I think-
accomplishment.
It's not the Hockey Hall of NHL.
Steve, I
It's
think
not the Hockey Hall of
Steve,
NHL.
you use the wrong word because relevance is he's always going to be relevant.
Yes,
because-
of course.
Yeah, so you use the wrong word because every goal he puts on the board in his NHL career is relevant to the history
To
of
his legacy.
Yes, yes. So that's
You are
my-
not-
I think
you are not
You should have
contending-
phrased it
okay.
differently. So, but I think that's besides the point. I think the two clips we played there about Crosby lend perfectly to each other because he says he hates losing.
Yes.
That's not why we play the game, but he also wants to stay in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Those two things are oil and water. They do not
Yes.
mesh.
100%.
So this conversation about Crosby leaving Pittsburgh will always be a conversation as long as Pittsburgh isn't good.
Yes.
So every loss that goes on the board from 0 to 82 with this team, that conversation becomes more and more relevant.
And two
that's
parties-
something that Crosby can't avoid because he said himself he does not like losing.
And
And his
two-
agent said he does not like losing.
Two parties make that the case. Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins. No one else.
Yeah,
Those are the two parties responsible for this conversation.
So I think
It hurts. I
thing-
don't want to see Sid lose.
Sure. I don't know.
He's too important. He's too relevant.
We've watched Sid lose for 3 years now.
I know.
Like I think I've survived. Like I think it's fine. If Sidney Crosby, that's my thing about people saying he has to leave for the sake of hockey. He's done enough winning that if he stayed in Pittsburgh, it'd be fine.
Mm-hmm.
We've literally watched him lose the last couple of years, and we're not all crying and on the floor and like, oh, what happened to our game? Like it'll be
It's
fine.
not about that.
If he chooses to stay and if he chooses to leave, that's even cooler.
I want to see him have a real shot at winning in the NHL
Totally.
again.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It would be cool.
Yeah.
The Penguins make that impossible.
Yeah, on the Penguins.
So how much is Kyle Dubas paying you?
Me?
I'm just giving you shit.
What? You think Dubas is sitting here going, you know, it's just such a great story that he stays here.
No.
You know,
Kyle would probably, I think Kyle would like to trade him.
Kyle wants to win a Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Kyle Dubas
Yes.
wants to get the assets back that would allow him to win a Stanley Cup in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Like
and-
if Kyle Dubas needs to be cutthroat with this thing and trade him at all costs, because that's a haul and a half for Crosby.
And listen, legacy matters to this guy. What do you think would have been better for Kyle if you're just looking at it from today? Shutting the fuck up in Toronto and not doing that press conference? Or going to Pittsburgh?
He makes more in Pittsburgh, so I think he's cool.
He got also promotion.
Before he signed that deal, I said, who the fuck would want that job? Because you are going to be tasked
With trading Sidney Crosby.
with the end of Sidney Crosby's career, which is, there's a few outcomes. They win, they lose, or you trade him. We know he's not winning. So the only paths forward are to trade this player and or lose. Ew. That's why he's making so much money, because both of those paths, no matter how good of a job he does, suck ass. It's a tough gig.
Yeah.
Do you remember how much Kyle Dubas' contract was?
$7 million.
I don't think the Leafs.
Oh, with the
was all
Leafs?
No, with the Penguins.
It's $7 million.
that- $7 million for 7 years.
Yeah, it's
I don't think the Leafs
ridiculous.
one is all that different, Steve. I think he was making about the same money here, or he was going to.
But he got the promotion. And
He did
would-
get the promotion.
You can't get that in Toronto.
Yeah.
Well, he tried to get in Toronto, and then that's why he's gone.
Oh, yeah. No, good thing. They're like, no, we need. How many extra years did Shanahan get out of that? 1, 2?
No, it was awesome.
2 seasons.
Yeah, good.
Excellent
Good. Now we
work,
got
everyone.
neither of them. Good
Excellent
job.
work also.
Good
Always.
job. Oh,
BetMGM is an official sports betting partner of the National Hockey League and has everything for action on the ice. Now, Jesse, I had to ask you this. You mentioned something about the Penguins, about
Okay.
their odds of being the worst team in the league.
Yeah. They have the third best odds to be the worst.
Third best odds to be the worst,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is an awkward sentence, but it makes sense.
It's 8-1.
8-1 odds to be the worst.
Yeah.
Okay. Steve, I'm coming back to you, Jess.
Okay.
Do you take that bet? 8-1.
no, worst in the league. Yeah. I think. Listen. They're not great, but I think that's insane.
Okay. Who do you take? Because I'm assuming Chicago and San Jose are the other two.
They are the bottom two.
Future is teal. Give me San Jose.
Okay.
I feel like that's contradictory.
I'm going
No.
to give you a couple of sandwich.
It's not the present is teal. It is the future.
The Blackhawks have the worst odds, the best odds. Sorry,
To be the
have
worst.
to be the worst, to have the fewest points in the regular season. They're 3-1.
Now, is that
they're
why you
pretty
take?
likely.
Wow.
Don't you take Pittsburgh at 8-1 because of that?
Yeah, for me, if I'm doing a future that I gotta wait 6 months to like cash out on, I'd rather do it on a flyer, like not the Philadelphia Flyers, but on a one that's like high odds, and it's like, oh, nobody really expected that. So I look at and I go down the list: Kraken at 12-1, Bruins 16-1,
No way do you take.
Flames 26-1, Flyers 26-1 as well.
See, I think the Penguins are the best bet on that one. I think they are.
And if I go a little deeper, I got my pick because I think they should go full tank.
Chicago is trying to win. This is important. They're trying to win games. I
guess,
So
yeah.
them being a 3-1 is interesting.
They're trying to take a step.
You want to invest in a team that's on the downturn. Who is that?
I think it's going to be surprising. The Islanders at 29-1.
I was thinking about that.
I'm jumping ahead to my preview and how I have the Islanders.
But
on.
is it okay?
But
Good question.
They should be bad. And I
is it-
think they need to go in that direction.
Isn't their goaltending too good to be bad?
Yes, that's the only thing that's kind of holding them up.
That's why I kind of like 26-1 the Flyers.
Yeah, that's not. There's somebody who has terrible goaltending.
They still have room to go down.
Yeah. You're probably right on that.
BetMGM also has original bets, which are hockey market bets you can't find anywhere else. Listen, we just got into a 5-minute debate about the you can imagine what's there. The BetMGM app has improved its lineup this season to include instant withdrawals, data insights, and a brand new rewards hub you got to check out. Download the BetMGM app today and enjoy the NHL like never before. It's BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 18 plus to wager. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you have any questions or concerns about your gambling or somebody close to you, please contact Connects Ontario at 1-866-531-2600 to speak to an advisor free of charge. BetMGM operates pursuant to an operating agreement with iGaming Ontario. Now, Leafs camp opened. They did their media avails. Jesse, you were there.
Yes.
And the first
Leafs
thing
Media Day.
I would like to bring up, because I think this is important, because we kind of got dunked on for this. And by the way, if you're not a Toronto fan, you should dunk on us for this, because this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. When they lost, and Treliving, Pelly, and I think Berube spoke to the media. I can't remember. We were down at the Sport Check studios at that point. Mm-hmm. There was a mantra on the wall. And after the Panthers series, it said, no grit, no grind, no greatness.
Okay, so let me bring it back, because I had this prepared too, because it was the first thing I took a picture of when I got there.
Okay.
So this is a clip from us on May 20th, I think it happened, this past season, talking about the no grit, no grind, no greatness, because at that press conference, I think it was the Trill Living one. I think you're right. Pelly wasn't there at that point.
Oh, it's just Tree?
No,
Okay.
So May 20th, we talk about the thing on the sign, because I brought it to the show, and here's what we said. Was not there.
That is a terrible slogan.
It's so tough.
It's so bad.
It's so tough.
And for anybody listening in this room, they have a slogan on the wall. It says, no grit, no grind, no greatness. And I posted this photo, and a couple other of the reporters did. And a lot of people dunked on it on Twitter. And dunked on the Leafs for the slogan.
I know what they're going for. They didn't find it.
Syntax and grammar. So it's difficult.
Man.
It's difficult to boil it down. And
So that's what we said at the time. Matt, you can bring it off.
so they've now changed it, Jess.
Yes. So today I took a picture. It was the first thing I saw. I noticed they changed the sign, and I wonder if we had anything to do with it. But here it is, the new sign with commas.
Maddie's so upset.
So now it is no grit, comma, no grind, comma, no greatness, period. Instead of no grit, period, no grind, period, no greatness, period. They put 2 commas in there. How do we feel?
I'm shocked. I'm shocked because this was so roundly laughed at.
Did bullying work?
No, not really.
Hey, they're the Toronto Maple Leafs. They should know better. Are you kidding me? Are you unaware of yourself that much? And by the way, the answer was yes.
Yeah.
But the guy in charge is gone now.
No.
So commas are it's capable.
Bullying worked. We did this. We made fun of it enough that they changed it.
I think there's enough time between then and now to say that we have heard that some of those post-Panthers podcasts ruffled feathers.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, specifically the sign in there. Like, that's what it was. So
yeah. And it didn't. Whatever.
No.
We're the reason you're getting
So
criticized.
is this better?
Bullying works.
Is this better?
This is better.
Yes.
I'm surprised they kept it. Like, you are essentially keeping the same damn thing.
They probably didn't want to shell out for a whole new sign. It's probably pretty expensive. I mean, this is Rogers after all, right? I mean, it's like, do we have to spend that kind of money?
And
just make it say Rogers.
If you look at the periods, they just added the little thing to the end of the period. So it's like a little line of paint.
Yeah,
to make it a comma. Sorry, it's a period.
You know how
into
there's
a comma.
You know how there's a Ted Rogers statue outside of Rogers Center?
Yes.
Yeah.
How long before we get an Ed one outside of Scotiabank Arena?
With him standing with his own statue is going to be surreal. That guy's like very alive.
Will he be on Legends Row?
Imagine.
He's like,
Oh man.
I want to say he's because I'm in the middle of reading the Rogers versus Rogers book. You already read it.
Yep.
Isn't he like in his 40s?
No, he's in his 50s, 60s now.
No, he's not in his 60s. No way. No, he's like shockingly younger than I thought.
Ed Rogers
Easy
III is 56.
Oh, what the fuck? All right, never mind. That's still younger than I thought. He's put it this way: he's going to be able to pose with his statue if he makes one.
You better. I hope he doesn't.
No, I like
To be fair,
listen.
his dad did pass
Yes.
before they erected the statue, so maybe he won't.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, please don't put yourself on Legends Row.
Listen,
Him next to like Gilmore.
that'd be crazy.
Imagine.
Just coming over the boards.
Yeah.
Hand over,
Like he was on the team.
he's like
Holding a cell phone plan?
hand over Turk Broda's shoulder.
Like, oh my God.
Me and the T-Dog. T-Broads. As I called him.
Yeah.
No, it's scary because you can see it happening.
This is pressure.
Yeah.
This is pressure. Like, that slogan puts pressure on you because if you win, you look unreal. If you lose, you look like a fucking
if you
idiot.
go out the way they did, and listen, a lot of
Yes.
people point to it, and I think it's...
You lost 6-1 in Game 7.
I think people say it's
On home ice.
slightly unfair. The and I don't want to pick on here, but the clip of Mitch Marner pulling his helmet off, dry hair, telling the bench to wake the fuck up, and then putting that slogan the next day or the next week next to it, it didn't play well.
No, well,
It doesn't play well.
They didn't put the slogan next to it. That was just us in the room being like, "Hey, look at what they have."
Well, they
on the
did put
wall."
the slogan there. Did you guys paint the slogan? Was that the media?
No, but the slogan was there before. It's not like that happened and then.
Yeah.
it was just circumstance of like we saw it.
Yeah,
After.
and they should have put a cover over it.
I'll give you an example.
No.
I'll give you an example of a team slogan making you look really fucking stupid if things go badly.
Give it to me.
The Blackhawks were the dynasty Blackhawks. They had won 2010, 2013, 2015. And if I'm not mistaken, 2016, their slogan was one goal.
Oh, I know the answer to that.
Because they had one goal, and that was to win the Stanley Cup.
This is
Yes.
And then first round, Nashville shuts them out in almost every game.
I think they had like one goal.
They had one goal, I think, heading into Game 4.
Yeah.
Which is...
That's outstanding.
Now, you won 3 cups, no one gives a shit, but people were like, nah.
That was good. That
For
was
anybody who's
good.
not aware, this room where the sign is, that's their film room. So like, there's a bunch of like lazy boy chairs kind of.
I don't even know where this is.
They all sit and watch film in there. It's at Fort Performance. So yeah.
Hey, okay.
Oh, it's that room.
Yeah, that's the So Jesse,
looks very
let's
different.
talk about Craig Berube is a funny guy, and his quote, he said, "I'm excited not to hear the words Core 4 anymore."
Yep.
Can we talk about that context because I think everybody agrees with him. We're all done. James Myrtle has been floating Key 3 as a potential, which I love, by the way. Shout out
Wait,
to
who are
James.
the 3, though?
Well, I think it's Matthews, Nylander, and Nyes.
Oh.
Hey, because it can't be JT
So
anymore.
we're kicking Tavares out.
Well,
He doesn't make enough.
nobody performs enough.
Does Nyes?
Well, Nyes makes almost double what Tavares makes.
Yeah, but is that enough to where we're yelling Key? What is it? Key
I'm
3? That's funny, Myrtle.
Key 3.
That's funny.
I present to you the blue 2.
Nylander
Yeah.
Matthews. Yeah,
There
it is.
The $10 million
That's better.
plus guys.
The
okay.
blue 2.
Actually, the $11 million plus guys. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, what was your takeaway from? Because I've got a bunch of the clips here, or not the clips, the quotes here that you have. But that one in particular, I want to ask you about because this is the turning of a chapter, and we've talked about that all summer, and it's annoying and boring. But it was annoying and boring talking about the Core 4 for so many years. So at least it's something new. Do you get the sense that there was relief from basically everybody in the room?
That was the first thing they got out there through their answers. The first thing anybody asked about, but it was also the first things Treliving and Berube alluded to is this thing's going to be different. We're missing Mitch, and they said it a number of different ways. And Treliving a couple of times repeated himself, we lost one player, but I brought in 3. So it's going to be different. I think they got ahead of the narrative that, hey, we all recognize there's a giant piece of this team that's gone now. But we're now here at training camp. It's about these guys who are now here to try and win their spot in the lineup and move forward and try and fill in those gaps. I think it's the most important narrative on day 1 of camp is we're different because we don't have Mitch, and now everybody's got to fill in and plug in those holes. And he's talked specifically about how Mitch played on the penalty kill and the power play.
Yes.
And he was a defensive help at 5-on-5. So there's a lot of places where a lot of different people on this team have to fill in.
Yep.
Interesting.
And-
we knew.
But it's important for them to say it.
It's important to reiterate.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't think anyone is suggesting anyone suggesting replacing Mitch Marner is going to be easy is wrong.
No.
Well, Treliving said that. He said, I'm still looking, but it's a slow summer.
He's a fantastic 100 or flirting with 100-point player. Kills penalties on the power play. One of the greatest playmakers in the league. He's got a killer shot when he actually uses the damn thing.
He does. So does Jack Eichel. That'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, willing to block shots.
Yep.
Like, he does a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and I think
he does a lot of everything.
you say it too as the GM and coach so that we can move on from it.
Yes.
Because if you don't acknowledge it, then it's a thing. So you come out and you be very upfront about we no longer have Mitch Marner. Let's all move on. So it was good to hear them. This is the first time I've been to one of these since the summer. So it's first time back for me and listening to the coach talk. And I think this is the first time they've talked since July or whatever. So it's good. The first time we see you, new year, we lost him. We know that was the summer. Let's move on to the guys who are in this room.
Can I give a little bit of a correction for my Blackhawks thing?
What is it?
Okay, so it was 2017.
Oh, that team's...
So it was the Wawa.
One trade.
It was the next year.
Wawa.
It was Wawa. It was the next year. Sorry, it's my Italian-ness coming in. 2017.
Wiggum.
No, it's lower.
It's Buck Martinez.
The Blue Jays. Sorry, that's
Get up, ball.
Vladimir Guerrero. Hit 4 out of his last 5 plate appearances, and get up, ball. Get up. Anyway, the 2017 Chicago Blackhawks with the slogan
Electric content.
1 goal. Slogan 1 goal. Game 1, they lose 1-0. Game 2, they lose 5-0. Game 3, they score 1:05 in.
Whoa.
They get a 2-0 lead,
Dynasty back on.
blow it, lose in overtime.
Ah.
And then in Game 4, Nashville had 4 goals and Chicago had 1 goal.
Ah.
3 goals in 4 games. That's great.
That is what happened.
Okay, great. Let's get to... I'm kidding.
Adam's done with your story.
Wow.
I'm giving you shit.
Adam's fucking done with this story.
That was payback for my Blue Jays stat earlier.
It was.
The damn that's crazy.
Yeah.
It was a damn that's crazy.
Yeah, that correction was not needed, but thank you.
I got ahead of it.
Yeah, because the comment section.
That wasn't 2016, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, we all knew that.
But Sod for Panarin was. Treliving also got out of the way that they're not looking at signing Dylan Dubé, which has been out there.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. He said,
Oh.
he said you have to be very comfortable. That hasn't been the focus for us, and you'd have to go through a process to see if you're comfortable.
He talked a lot about how it's not just bringing in a guy. He acknowledged, I should say, that it's not just signing a player. There's a bunch of due diligence that would go into bringing in one of these players that were involved in this.
So if I can do a little aside, I don't understand the idea of the Leafs signing Dylan Dubé at fucking all. I don't get it at all. So let's pretend there's no baggage there whatsoever. The general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs acknowledged there is an abundance of baggage. Well, the court said, stop. The GM just said it. Stop acting like this is just any other free agent. He's very thoroughly not. And neither are the other 4 guys either. There's an enormous firestorm that comes with entertaining any of these 5 people. And to say that there isn't is just blissful ignorance. Ignoring that, he has 7 pro goals in his last 85 pro games, half of which are in the KHL. He's 27, so like this isn't a guy in his early 20s who's going to get way better. I saw people like, oh yeah, big body, he can bang and crack. He's 5'10" or 11, 185. So you're talking about a fictitious person.
You're fired up.
That's Max Domi.
No, because people are like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I saw people go, yeah, he's great. He'd be a great depth piece. Based on what?
And they also have 40 million
Based
depth
on
pieces.
what? Why are you moving heaven and earth to go out and get a forward who hasn't been a quality NHL forward for 3 years.
Because I think in this
fuck are you
market,
doing? Who's
a
signing one of
40-point
those
guy
guys
is
would
Max?
be like moving heaven and earth.
Yeah.
know?
I don't get it. I don't get it in the slightest. Why? Please no. Please God no. Heavens to, don't you already have too many forwards? Fuck no. Please no.
Can I tell you what I think happened? I don't think Darren Dreger's reporting was wrong.
I don't either.
If it was Darren Ferris, the agent, who it's not, I checked. Darren Ferris regularly uses Toronto as a let me stir up interest in my client.
In fairness to Darren Ferris,
Every agent does.
which has never come out of my mouth. Every agent uses the Leafs for that purpose.
And that's fair. It wasn't him. I think that the Leafs, because it's been told to me, so there's a lot of GMs out there that won't call everybody. Remember we talked about that?
Yes.
I was like, that is mind-blowing. What do you mean the agents make these trades?
I do like part of my job.
Brad Treliving, from what I've heard, is somebody who will call everybody. He's a tire kicker, a big-time tire kicker, just to see, because he likes to know. And you could see that he's a pretty affable guy. Most people would get along with him. So you can see how that's the case. Not every GM's like that. Some of them are a little snarly, and so I do think the Leafs looked at all 5 of these players, as any team has the right to do.
They were
and
5
and go, hey, do any of these people fit us? And then you bring in your PR staff and you go, so what's that look like? And you talk to the president of the organization, Keith Pelly, who is a media background, and you go, hey, Keith, how do you think Sportsnet, TSN, and all the myriad other sports networks are going to handle a story like this? And then you fire it upstairs to Rogers, and you ask them, hey, what would... And I think everybody else would say, even if you think they might be worth it, that guy better be Wayne Gretzky. And I think that they looked at it, and they said, and the agent was like, see, they're looking at us. And that's how the insiders find out, and that's fine. And then the Leafs' internal staff took over and said, not a fucking chance, man.
Yeah.
And I think that is how you come to a good decision when you have a good organization.
Yeah, and it's that they look at, if there's 800 skaters available to be signed, the Leafs have looked at 799. Like, they look at every single player. So if somebody reports that they've looked at a guy, it's not untrue. Yep. Like, I believe they looked into the fit for Dubé in the lineup, but that doesn't mean they're going to take those steps to signing him. I think you outlined that perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I will say this: maybe they do. Maybe I'm eating my words. But for Brad to come out and say, "Yeah, we're not going to do that,"
he said we're not focused on that.
We're not
right
focused
now.
on that right now. That is
he never said like we'll never do that. He said right now we're not focused on that.
Okay.
Not to mention that you cannot sign any of these guys till October 15th.
Yes.
They can't play in your lineup till December 1st. Would you do this for your regular, like, 5th line NHL player?
Matthews, who will play with Matthews on the top line? Berube mentioned 2 names specifically. They're going to give Matthias Michelli first line minutes next to Matthews and Nyes in training camp somewhere.
Sure.
They're also, I think he fits better with Tavares Nylander, and they're going to try him there. The other name they brought up was Max Domi, who is not going to be a full participant in camp, Jesse.
Yes, he tweaked something in the lead up to camp, so in the last week or so, doing his little training, and he won't be there tomorrow when things get underway, and he's day-to-day right now. They expect him to be ready for the season, but it's day-to-day on his injury.
That's really unfortunate, especially because, like, he would be my odds-on favorite to play on Matthews right.
There's a giant opportunity for this player, and this injury could not have come at a worse time.
Right.
Really could not have.
Knowing Max and seeing what we saw last year in the playoffs, and Berube outlined this a couple weeks ago where he's like, he needs to take care of the puck. There's some things I need to see growth in his game.
Yes.
I feel like Max Domi is not going to let that slip.
So, Adam,
I really believe
that's
that.
actually my worry. Because remember in November when
he was
was
hurt?
awful?
Yeah, because
He played hurt basically the entire time.
Because Matthews was already out.
They need to mind their P's and Q's with this player. You know the meme, I just became really important at work and it's ruining my life?
Yeah.
Max Domi just became really important at work, and I hope it doesn't ruin his life because the Leafs need him.
That's a really good point. Like, you don't want him playing through stuff because he's like, I have a first line opportunity. So he needs to also manage his injury enough so he's healthy when they need him most.
Marner was your best playmaker. Matthew, sorry.
Shelley?
You would,
Austin?
No, I meant to say Max Domi. I just said Matthews for some reason. My tongue went into business for itself. Max Domi, there was an argument he was number 2, right? I mean, William Nylander exists, but like it.
John Tavares.
If you talk about pure playmaker, Domi's 2.
And I loved him with Matthews, and I think you put those 3 on the same line, no one touches Austin all year.
I mean,
what defenseman? Because Max is crazy. And
He
that's
is
a compliment. He's crazy.
Yeah, good crazy.
Good crazy until not. Like there are some penalties where you go, Max.
Oh, like
yeah, I
Max.
forgot about those.
Yeah, but what defenseman isn't looking over their shoulder when that line's out there and
he's
the puck
nuts.
goes into the corner? He's nuts. Matthew Nyes is huge and unafraid of anybody.
Here's the great thing if you're Matthias Michelli. If you lose out on the first line job, also know you didn't. Because Max Domi is going to spend a significant amount of time not on the ice because
I
he's in
think
the box.
That's one of the things Berube would want to clean him up on.
Yeah.
And with Michelli, I think it's a better fit with Nylander Tavares. Because those guys both, I mean, how many goals did Tavares have last year? 38?
They're in that neighborhood.
Nylander had 45.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So there's a guy who needs a rebound season, and all he's got to do is feed those 2 animals. That's a great spot for him. And not the pressure of the Matthews line.
Be a good defensive player because wherever you think Nylander is going to be, he's going to be north of that because he's going for a breakaway.
Sometimes night dependent. Sometimes he comes
yeah,
back.
other
His
times
takeaways
he's
are
just
great.
going to go, ugh.
Now, I want to move on to this, Jesse. What did Brad tell you about the Anthony Stolarz extension? And then I want to expand on that.
How long is it? How much money?
He is very hopeful that something's going to get done. He had nothing to announce at the moment, but he thinks that they're in a good place and they're going to get something done.
Now, Darren Dreger did what we did a couple weeks ago, which is how much money would you pay for Anthony Stolarz and how long? And from what I understand from the CJ show lineup, which I got to see this morning, CJ will have more on this, so this information might already be outdated. But as at the time of you listening, but Darren Dreger put out 2 names that are contract comps for Anthony Stolarz, and I wanted to know what you guys thought.
Bobrovsky.
Okay? Not Bobrovsky.
Hellebuck.
Not Bobrovsky. So the first one is a Steve favorite. Karel Vejmelka, 29 years old, $4.75 million. This is the first of a 5-year pact. So 5 years, 4.75. That's about $23 million over the course of that time.
Continue.
Okay. The other one is one of my favorites, Kevin Lankinen, who has signed a 5-year contract, starts this year, year 1, $4.5 million. So
4.5 by 5.
4.5 by 5.
I think we've been saying 5 times 5.
And 4.75. And I think that might be the hitch in the giddy up.
I'm shocked these numbers don't start with a 5.
Yeah, me too.
But I think that's where the Leafs are at. And I think Stolar's number is a 5. I think if they get to 5,
I think it might be higher than that.
Hey, remember this? Remember Tavares is like, if they just get the thing leaked out. If they just got to 5, if they just got to 5,
4.3.
the deal's done. The deal's done. And they go to 4-3. Now, some of that is
Shenanigans that are going to be illegal soon.
Yeah, but not illegal yet.
Not illegal yet.
If the Leafs sign Stolarz to $5 million by 4 years, I'm fucking happy.
But why
Unreservedly-
should satisfied? Hold on.
Yeah,
Why
there you
should they? This is a guy who has never started more than 35 games in a season. If I'm Brad, I'm going, okay, I love you.
Yeah.
And I think you're great. But let's not forget that you've had both knees reconstructed. You missed 8 weeks last year. You got injured in the playoffs. That's not his fault.
Yep.
I think that the injury question keeps that 5 to a 4.
I think Stolarz is worth a $500,000 bet. If the Leafs are at 4.5 and he wants 5, and or whatever that number is, if it's 250K or whatever it is, I think he's shown enough where you want to make that bet on him and lock him up and not risk losing him, or that number going up depending on how well he plays this season. So for me, if I was in the GM seat, I'm happy with 5 because that number to me is only going to be better value as the years go on and he plays for this team.
I just think we're getting a sense of how the Leafs are negotiating now.
Totally.
And they're being kind of tough about it.
Good. The Vejmelka comparison and the Lankinen comparison get me very happy and excited because the contract I saw that went, oh, like I just was like, this is going to screw everything up, was Spencer Knight. Because that's a guy who just doesn't have a ton of leverage. You haven't really played
What do you mean
very
he doesn't
much.
have a ton of leverage? They traded for him, and Chicago sucks.
Yeah, okay. So your leverage...
He has all the leverage in the world.
Your leverage is they traded for you and Chicago sucks. You also don't have very many games played. And you still have RFA years. Like, Stolarz he's done this for 2 straight years.
Yeah.
And he's a UFA.
I think if you look at the contract Chicago has signed over the last couple of years, that is how they got to that number with Spencer Knight.
We haven't said the number yet. Spencer Knight signed for $5.83333 million for 3 seasons.
He's also a very good goalie. But let me just say this, guys.
He looks like it, but there's no guarantee. I think it's going to work out with him, but there is absolutely no guarantee.
I'm on Steve's side in that I don't think he's worth 5.8 right now.
And I think that the problem for the Chicago Blackhawks is they've been bad for so long that they then remember when the Leafs traded for Jonathan Bernier and had to sign him to a ridiculous contract, Steve, and everybody's like, what the? But he held all the cards. They had traded assets for Jonathan Bernier, which I think was like a 1st or a 2nd round pick plus Ben Scrivens. And
it was Scrivens, a 2nd, and Fratton.
And he was making $4.5 million 10 years ago.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm
they already had Reimer.
Yes.
Of all the positions, like the one
Damn thing that got you to the playoffs was goaltending.
Yeah.
And you upgraded your goaltending.
Yes.
I'm going to fight you.
So I'm just saying. I think they're in a good place. I don't think those numbers are that far off. And I think the Leafs need a 4 in front of it. I think that's
That'd be nice.
I would
love that.
kill for that.
Yeah.
Well, didn't we say with the same with Tavares?
No, shoot for the moon. Like, if you get that 4 point whatever, I'm ecstatic.
Easton Cowan, Jesse.
Yeah.
So they really just kind of left us hanging. They're like, is it this October or next October?
Mm-hmm. They said, we're going to training camp. Everybody's fighting for a spot. Whether you're, whether you're 20 or 25, if you're good enough to make this roster, you're going to make it. So they left the door open for him to make the team, and he's just going to compete for a spot.
And it's 2025.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, there's probably 1, 2 spots up for grabs, really. He hasn't been mind-blowing enough for you to be like, he needs to be in the... I think he'll play games for the Leafs this year. I just don't know if it's going to be right at the beginning of the season.
His comments, I think Josh Chloe put together an article for The Athletic talking about how Easton understands he's got to change his game. Because he was lighting it up in junior. But they think, and he thinks, that scoring touch is not going to translate to the game in the same way. So take care of the defense first.
Yes.
Take care of the puck first. The scoring will come because he does have that touch.
Well, and those are the roles you're going to get. And that is what has held back Leafs prospects in the past. I'll give you 2 really good examples. 2 guys who were early-ish round picks, prolific scorers in junior, prolific scorers even at the minor league level. And then when a roster spot came up, it's on the 4th line, and you just don't have much to offer in that role. Josh Levo is, and I think always has been, an NHL player. I think he could come from the KHL right now and play in the NHL and be totally fine. But one thing he never really showed in the NHL is I can be an adequate depth player.
Yep.
Nick Robertson. He can't play on your 4th line. He can't. That's not in an ideal world. No, in November, if someone's hurt, sure.
He's wasted.
Yes. They found a role for him on a 3rd line that scored, but that's not.
They weren't confident in that line.
That's not what a Stanley Cup Final 3rd line does, really. Like, that wasn't the primary function of the Panthers' third line. It was capable of it, but
That's why you have Nick Waugh.
yeah, its main
capable,
thing
but
was
that's
to
not his
screw
thing.
with you. Yeah, that's a third liner.
So
That's what you want there. So
I'll give you a good
Cowan
one.
doesn't want him. It doesn't want himself to find himself in that situation.
can I give you one more and see if you agree with this?
Well, sure.
Young Nazem Kadri.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It wasn't until
That's not bad.
Bab showed up, and Mike Babcock and Nazem Kadri, once they showed up and really ironed out his game. Now, he was a full-time NHLer before that, but he was all offense.
And got ripped on. Dallas Eakins is like, you're in bad shape. you're not good at D. You need those things.
And once he started to do that, and his lowest scoring year was that year where Babcock took over, the team was the worst in the league, and he figured it out and became extraordinarily valuable after that.
Yeah,
but it took him a few years.
Yeah, but it was like, you're our first line center, and we're going to crazily overburden you with everything.
The best players in the league.
And now we're going to push you down the lineup, and you're going to murder everyone in your path. Because you played against first line competition all year last year, and now you're playing like third.
Yep.
And if they choose to play you hard, guess what? Austin's open.
Yep.
Like, that's what made that team click. Cowan's, he's going to be in the NHL. He's going to have a fine NHL career. He doesn't need to make this team out of camp. I think learning on the Marlies would be a good thing.
Jesse, one thing that stood out to me was the Morgan Riley thing. I'll read the quote. He's a big piece for us. Getting Morgan Riley back to the level he's capable of will have a big impact on our team. And I guess they had a conversation which Riley appeared to, is it take to heart or taken to heart?
Yeah, he was very honest about talking with Morgan at the end of the season, I guess a little bit over the summer, about how they think his game can be better than it was last season. I think everybody who watched the Leafs consistently can see that. Like, Morgan Riley wasn't what he can be. And I think he struggled mightily under Craig Berube's system. We saw that. And he admitted it in one of the interviews. I think it was with Jonas Siegel. He did in the middle of the winter. And then that adjustment was made for the playoffs, and he had a decent playoffs. And now over the summer, they were very complimentary of his summer work and the work he put in every summer. And I think it was Treliving who said that, like, there wasn't many days over the course of July and August that Morgan wasn't at the practice facility working. So he's been really trying to get back to what they think he can be. So I think that's going to be something to really watch in the opening parts of the season, the first couple of months, is Morgan going to grow into, like, he's not a young player at all, but we saw last year.
He's not old.
He's not old either. Like, he's not 35. It's not done for him. We saw last year that his game can be tighter. There are ways he can be a little better than what he was. So I feel like that's something to watch, and he's worked on it. So we'll see if now he can deliver on it during the season.
Tighter without sacrificing like a ton of offense.
Yeah.
He was better the previous season. He had 58 points in 72 games. He only had 41 in 82 last year. That's pretty damn good. I know he was in a cushy role with the power play and everything, but like he was on the second unit most of the time. By the end of it, he did well in the playoffs. But the one thing I think people forget about Morgan Riley, he's 6'1". It's not huge. It's fine in the NHL. He's 225. That is a big fella. And there is room for Riley to turn into, and he can skate real well. There's room for Riley to turn into exactly the type of player that Craig Berube loves.
Yeah, and he struggled with the idea of staying in his defensive spot, but also wanting to be a little bit of an offensive defenseman, because that's where a lot of his skills are, right? You rattle off the points, they're very impressive. And he hasn't learned under Craig Berube how to balance that. But when can I leave and do my offensive thing, and when should I stay in your system and stay where I'm supposed to be? So hopefully this year he's just more comfortable and knows how to keep his game ready offensively and also play hard-nosed defense that Berube wants.
And I don't think people understand, we got to replace him in the aggregate. For some reason, Moneyball came up on my TikTok this morning. But the Leafs have to find a way to replace the playmaking of Mitch Marner. Your D are allowed to be a part of that, and number one candidate is Morgan Riley.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Absolutely.
So, green light Morgan.
I was tough as
season.
hell on him at the end of the season, and it's nice to hear that the Leafs organization saw what I think a lot of us saw.
You weren't wrong to be. That's the thing.
I said they should trade him though. At least they're probably they're a little more level-headed about it than I am.
But like your sentiment in that you are not playing well leads to like trade him. I want assets that are playing well, but like your first thought of like he's not doing well, you're correct in that.
You are correct. I would say replacing him is really, really, really hard.
Yeah.
With the cap going, you weren't doing it in free agency.
What do you say about hard trades?
That's what their fucking job is. How much money they get paid? Oh
not my
it's
job.
$5-6 million. Oh man, is it hard for you?
Well, I'd like-
Oh shit.
I'd like
crazy.
to know. I'd like to know a good Morgan Riley trade.
Well,
That's not my job.
Here's the it's also not my job, but it is my job because I love to speculate. I
Yeah.
will tell you this: he wouldn't waive his no trade anyway, so it's not.
well, that's what I was going to wait for you to lay out a good trade for 5 minutes. Here's what we're going to get. Here's how it's going to work out. And I was going to smack that idea in a puddle and go, I refuse.
Here's the other
because that's what he does.
Here's the other reason I
can
was
do.
wrong on the you must trade him, because what I said was you must find a way to move on from this guy. It doesn't work in this system. I don't know if he's had it. I also know that the number they're paying him was too high at the time, is still too high.
7.5
Is still too high.
with the cap going up.
Based on what we got last year, still too high.
All
If he's capable of being a 50-point guy again, 50 points. That's $7.5 million. That's great. But Luke Hughes is a 40-point guy, and he's younger,
And going to get
and is going to get
significantly more.
Jake Sanderson cap percentage, not Jake Sanderson dollars. He's going to get more money than Jake Sanderson, and he's done it longer than Jake Sanderson did. Luke Hughes is going to be the only Hughes brother to get paid properly on their second contract.
Crazy.
And he's going to make 8.5. I bet. That's my money is on 8.5.
Yeah.
And so I look at Morgan Riley. I'm like, are you at the Luke Hughes level? And he was overpaid at the time. I think he can get back to the point where you're like, I feel good about that contract again. Is that fair?
The Luke Hughes number that is funniest, by the way, is $8,000,001. So he makes $1 more than his.
That would be great.
Yeah.
I also owe you an apology, Adam, because I poo-pooed the idea of moving on from Dougie Hamilton so hard, and apparently there's speculation that they might want to
Not
do
surprised.
it. So
Yeah, I
maybe
got a
you were
bunch of
onto-
messages about that.
You were onto something, and I apologize for that.
I also think, well, first off, Dougie's had some serious injuries. Second, museums or no museums, it seems to be with this player, there is a time limit. And that is the case with certain players. It just seems to be. I don't know what that is. It just seems to be that might be the case. And also maybe it's like, hey, Luke Hughes is really good and we don't really need you anymore. And we're going to pay Luke what we pay you.
I'm not saying
There'll be plenty of teams who want Dougie Hamilton.
I'm not
Plenty.
saying this is the case with Dougie Hamilton, but there are players who are like they're good. They're straight up good, and you like them the first year,
Evander Kane.
and then the second year, third year rolls around, fourth year. I don't think in professional sports we account for. Even though these guys are your teammates, in the moment the puck is dropped, you would die for them. These guys aren't all friends.
No.
They're not. And I'm not saying this is Dougie. Like, this applies to all 800 whatever
John
players.
Tortorella
Man.
has a time limit. Does that make John Tortorella not a Hall of Fame coach? No.
And there are other people where it's like, you know what? I am your friend.
Who was the-
But I can't see you every day.
Who was the Dallas coach that just got fired?
Pete DeBoer.
Pete DeBoer. Every 3 years, Pete DeBoer is gone. And yet, he's always in the conference final.
Like,
Every 3 years, that fucking guy is fired.
I don't think the conversation was necessarily, we will be a better hockey team if we get rid of Pete DeBoer. It was, we need to fire this human being.
I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
I can't do it anymore.
Jake Ottinger might not show up.
Not every relationship's meant to be forever. One more thing I want to hit. So first off, very quickly, Mark Giordano joining the development side of the Toronto Marlies to help develop young talent, which is
I
great.
didn't know that.
Yeah, he was out on the ice during the summer with some Leafs, so people were like, "Oh, is Mark doing something?" They asked him about it. There's going to be a formal announcement coming at some point, but he sneaked out that he's going to be joining in the Marlies capacity.
I thought he was with the Sens for something. Wasn't he working with them for a bit?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
Gonna
hope,
sign with the Leafs.
I
That's
hope
your
he
answer.
works here.
On well, he does. And on the last one,
Your dream came true.
Hooray.
yeah, I was able to grant you your wish immediately. Isn't that
Thank you for
Magic
that.
Genie Adam.
You know what?
Thank you for
You're welcome. Billionaire, come to the rescue again. We aren't all bad.
Condolences to TSN because I thought he was nice as a broadcaster.
Yeah. Yeah, but he wants to be in the game. I don't blame him.
I like it.
Nick Robertson, who, when Berube was asked a couple weeks ago, was like, well, he's in tough. Berube was far more, I thought, effusive in his praise today.
Yes, he said that Nicky's he's going to be here. He's going to be competing for a spot.
He's a member of the team.
He's a member of the team, and he's very happy that he is. He's a good goal scorer, and he's going to be competing for a role in the lineup. So, yeah, Berube's happy to have Nicky Bob around.
He's making the team, and we know he has no problem performing well in preseason because he was
lit it up.
Absolutely unreal last year.
Murderer.
He was crazy good. But again, remember, leash can be short. We saw that with Liljegren. Leash can be very short.
We saw that with Nick Robertson when Pacioretty was healthy.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, as it pertains to camp.
Oh, like moving him out entirely?
Because, like, new coach. Could be a new era for Timothy Liljegren. And it took like 2 games to be like, this guy sucks. Get rid of him. Like, that happens so fast. I've never seen anyone sour on anyone that quickly.
CJ, by the way, just posted an article saying there is a timeline on the Stallers contract negotiations. He's reporting that he is comfortable with talks continuing throughout training camp, is unwilling to see those conversations bleed into the regular season.
Oh, valid.
So we have 3 weeks?
Yeah.
3-week deadline.
So was Vlad Guerrero Jr., and they blew past it anyway.
Remember?
That's a good
He
point.
had that press conference where he looked like a sad puppy dog.
I'm in Dunedin.
And I was like, oh my God, it has never been more over, and a guy has never been more gone. And then he signed, and now they're in first place.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Things change.
I have a feeling that if they don't meet the number and then it goes in the regular season, Brad goes, you know what? Fuck it. Here's your number. They're signing the deal.
Yeah, Jesse, I know you're not February Jesse anymore. You're September Jesse. But
okay,
could February or March Jesse have fathomed where the Blue Jays are at right now?
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
no, like right now it still feels unbelievable.
Right?
This team was at its lowest point in like a long time because the dark years of the Jays from 94 to 2015 when they got back good, those were at least like, we have zero expectations. This team's going to be terrible the whole time, and they were terrible.
Yeah.
Now we had expectations, and they just kept falling short, and things could only get worse where they're supposed to make the playoffs and win the division. Then the 24 season is a disaster, and they're in last place and all that. So it could not have been lower. And then all of a sudden, they're everything we could have been, that we thought they could be plus more.
Leading the league in comeback wins.
And their pitching starting to fall apart. They call up a guy from AAA, and he has 9 strikeouts in his
Yeah, Trey Savage is awesome. The
should have had an immaculate inning and got robbed.
Bullpen at the end of August looks like it was going to be the thing that's going to sink the team. All of a sudden, the bullpen's the best thing they got going. Like, it's unreal right now.
It's great.
Unreal vibes.
The vibes are immaculate.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll leave it there. Is there anything else from that press conference you want to talk about? Did I hit it all?
No, I think everything got in there.
Did they have snacks?
No, it's not. It's snack time for reporters and stuff.
I just want to leave you with this, Detroit fans, before we wrap up the show, and we need to wrap it up. Steve Yzerman. This is from a Detroit Red Wings blogger named George Malik. Steve Yzerman asked about Travis Hamonic. He basically, he's paraphrasing here, but he debated carrying 7 or 8D, looking at potential right-hand shots through trade. There was nothing there. Jeff Petrie left for Florida. So they wanted to help young guys by bringing Travis Hamonic in, and having 8 defensemen gives them depth over the course of the season. Here's the part that Detroit fans are not going to love. Steve Yzerman liked Hamonic's play in Ottawa's system. Top 4 veteran guy who's steady defensively and plays with an edge, will help guys.
Leafs fan, I liked him with the Sens as well.
I like him. I like him. I prefer him with the Sens, but I will take him with Detroit.
I'm mad at Yzerman for taking Hamonic away from the Sens. I am glad that he kept him in the division.
Yep.
Thank you.
There you go. Let's leave it there.
I was looking at my notes from the press conference.
Oh, you guys
today. Just one thing that we didn't hit on. Matthews was asked about his health because of the wrist thing, and he said that health-wise he feels good, but he wouldn't elaborate. So he never likes talking about his medical stuff, but he was asked about it, and he said he's feeling good, but he wouldn't continue his answer.
I won't lie, the answer he gave a week or 2 ago, I was like, ooh, that was unsatisfying and brief.
Yeah.
And that one is less satisfying and more brief.
When you ask him about like, hey, how you feeling, it's always unsatisfying and brief.
And
there you go.
I don't like it. Okay.
Oh, stop. Listen.
Can't wait till he scores 75.
Yeah.
Just let it happen. You don't know yet. Don't get anxious.
He's going to score 82. He's going to score 93.
Beat out Gretzky.
Or maybe he falls just short of a career high 6'7".
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.